So, how many of you guys grew up going to church? And how many of you grew up going to church camp over summer? Yeah, I was one of those kids. I remember being so excited to go to church on Sundays to see the skit about the Bible story from the Old and New Testament. So excited to hear about Jonah, to hear about Daniel in the lion's den, all those things. And I also remember being so excited about the games and there was some getting pied in the face or whatever it was. I loved that. And I remember going to summer camp once again with the fun games, new people, new faces, and then seeing those fun skits, seeing those stories about who God was in the Bible, who he saved, who he defeated, the power that God had in the Bible. And then I was a camp counselor, and I always loved, I was so excited about that. But when I was going to summer camp, going to church with my friends, having fun, the stories that were told to us were stories from the Bible of what God had done. What he'd done in the past, what he'd done in the Bible, what he'd done for Samson, what Jesus had done in the lives of the disciples. I knew that we prayed, we asked God to protect us, to bless our food, but I didn't understand much more than that. I thought he was up in the sky, watching us, protecting us. I knew he loved us, so I knew that he was protecting us, making sure we were safe, keeping us from doing the wrong things, maybe, or just making sure that we weren't doing the wrong things. But he was up there. He was watching us from far away. He was distant, like a distant God from a long time ago in the Old Testament, New Testament, and even today. He was distant, up in the sky, watching us. When I was in high school, I was able to go on a mission trip to Mexico, and one of the big parts of this mission trip is being able to share your testimony. How many of you guys have shared your testimony before? Yeah, it's pretty scary. For those of you who don't know, a testimony is when you're able to share about how you met Jesus, how you came to faith, and what Jesus has done in your life, what miracles have happened, and just what has brought you to this point in your life. And I did not know what to say. I freaked out. I was so nervous. Talking in front of a group of people, of course, is scary, but talking about something that I didn't totally understand either was pretty scary. I'd never looked at my life to see where God's hand was, because I thought I was the one doing all these things. I didn't think it was God. I thought it was me. Little did I know it was God working through me, and that's why all these good things were happening, or why hard things happened and then good came out of them. I didn't know. I thought it was my works, not the Lord's. And so this first time that I shared my testimony, the first time in Mexico, I had heard other people before me talk about hard things in their life, and so I was like, okay, hard things, I can do that. My sister and I, we've been fighting lately. It's been really hard. I really love her, but we fight. It kind of sucks. And I guess, I struggled with depression last year, and that was really hard. I didn't like myself very much, but I never brought God into it. I never saw how his hand was working, how he was working through these hard things. And so I didn't bring it in. I just talked about these hard things. I was hidden behind this shadow of who God was. I was hidden behind it. But then light broke in. The other people in my village, they were able to bring this light in and show me, tell me these stories of God's healing power in the face of disease. They told me about his redemptive power in the face of divorce. And I heard stories of the power of his love in the face of suicidal thoughts. These people opened up and shared who God was to them and who he is today, down here on earth, walking with us, side by side with us, healing, speaking truth, all these things that I didn't understand before. I want you guys to take some time right now and just close your eyes, open your eyes, whatever. Think about who you were 5 years ago, where you were, where you lived, who you were friends with, what was going on in your life 5 years ago. Maybe even think about 1 year ago, where you were, what you were thinking, what you were doing, what your priorities were. And then think about yourself right now. Think about who you are today and how the Lord has brought you through hard times and through good times 5 years ago to today. Did you ever think you'd be sitting here? Did you ever think you'd be where you are today, whatever your home situation is, did you ever think you'd be there? Because I surely didn't. 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be where I was today talking to you guys. I didn't think that I'd be so in love with Jesus. But through his work, I've been able to come to this point. And I don't want you guys to think that God's work is always this beautiful painting. He has this soft little brush doing these soft little strokes, and it looks all beautiful. Because a lot of the times, we're clay. It talks about in the Bible, we're clay. And God has to shape us and form us and mold us and break pieces off that aren't good and smooth them over. And that can be really painful. And so, even those times that are really painful, the Lord has his hand over you. He's constructing through the hard times. He's constructing you to the masterpiece he wants you to be. And so, I was believing, and maybe you were, believing these shadows about who God really is. And through the light of Jesus, through the light of other people showing me Jesus, I was able to see who God really is. Now, what shadows are you believing, are you hiding behind today? Let's pray. God, I thank you so much for this day. Thank you for all the wonderful people who are able to come here and serve you, love you, and talk about you, God. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for who you are and who you've made us to be, God. Please bless the rest of our time and keep us all safe and healthy, Lord. Lord, fill our hearts. Let us know that you're here. Your presence is all around us, Lord, and I just pray that we see that today and every day forward. In your great name we pray. Amen.